Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today is August the 31st, 2022. I am back. We're going to talk about Lucid today and how they may be anticipating running out of money. Welcome to the channel, everyone. This is HueFin, also known as HueFin News. I produce price predictions. If you guys haven't realized, if today's your first time ever seeing my videos, my content, welcome. This is what I do. I don't come in and pump stocks. I come and give you all the real. As you guys can see right now in Lucid, I'm planning on the market going down in price. So if you guys want to join me, if you guys want to continually learn how I'm able to do this, I would recommend that you continue to follow me. And you do that by hitting the like button, sharing the video, and also subscribing here to my channel. Now, let's get to this article first. Okay, let's talk about this article about Lucid and Nikola doing some filings, some shelf registrations in anticipation of offering more stock. Because understand, if you need money, right, and if you're running out of cash, one way that public companies can increase or create money is by issuing out new shares. Take a look at this article from CNBC. All right, Lucid and Nikola move to raise additional funds as rising costs squeeze EV startups. Okay, so this article came out yesterday about Lucid. Now, for any company, right, you have to be prepared for the unknown. And by them taking this stance of preparing to issue out new shares, kind of lets me know what they're anticipating. You know, are they anticipating some hardships to come, whether it's internally or supply constraints or inflation? Like, what are they're getting prepared for something, because they won't go through these lengths if they don't need it. So they're trying to step or be one step ahead of the game. Take a look at this article real quick. So, electric vehicle makers Lucid Group and Nikola are moving to raise additional funds as both companies aim to boost production amid sharply rising battery costs and new federal regulations that limit incentives for EV buyers. So, if they're trying to increase their production of their vehicles, they're noticing that, wait, hold on. Okay, we're trying to increase our production, right? But we are noticing that the cost of building these vehicles are also going up, i.e. inflation. If we cannot boost our production, we can make more money. We can't make more money, we're going to run out of money. So in order for us to try to increase our business, we may have to issue out some shares to bring in more money until we're able to boost our production. Now, Lucid Group late on Monday filed a shelf registration. Okay, so it doesn't mean that it's being implemented. It doesn't mean that they're actually going to fully go through and issue out more shares to the market. Not right now. It's on the shelf, just in case, you guys could kind of say, to issue up to $8 billion in new stock. Now, that's $8 billion. We're not talking about 800,000. We're not talking about 8 million. We're not talking about 800 million. We're talking about $8 billion in new stock over the next 3 years, right? A shelf registration gives the company the right to issue the stock as needed. So they may not even need the full 8 billion, but they're trying to give them a cushion just in case. We have 8 billion at our disposal that we can dump on the market to raise funds, right? Now, Lucid said in a statement that its shelf registration is intended to provide a greater flexibility. What does that mean? It simply means we need to have access to capital. We need to have access to money. If we run out of money elsewhere, we have this on the shelf that we can come to and utilize to continue to function as a business, to raise additional money in the future, and that it has no immediate plans to sell any new stock. Now, that key word is immediate. Of course, it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but what about a year from now, 2 years from now? They're planning, which goes a long way to say that's a great thing to see for companies, that they have the ability to think forward. It's what you want to see. Now, as of right now, you guys can see in this last sentence that Lucid has $4.6 billion in cash on hand. Now, that was the end of the second quarter, so they're not in a rush to immediately issue out new shares. They have enough to fund its operations and capital expenses into next year. So maybe 2023, they might need that money. They might come out and issue additional shares, which will inevitably dilute the market because they're going to have to place more shares in the market in order for them to grab the cash, in order for them to increase their cash on hand. Now, how would you take this article though? Is this a good thing or is this a negative thing? This article came out yesterday, both for Lucid and Nikola, EV startup companies. Is it positive or negative? Let's take a look at the chart. So I did a price prediction in Lucid on August the 21st, 2022. You guys can see I was planning on the market going down in Lucid. Now, one thing that I can see from the market move yesterday, the market went down 6%, okay? But my eyes is coming in right here on this volume, okay? I want us to see this volume in Lucid. So rather than me having this horizontal line right here in Lucid, we may need to lower it, okay? We may need to bring it down here to where the bottom came in, May the 11th and May 12th. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring it down. Okay. Now, it doesn't mean that the market's going to completely fall down to $13 today. It doesn't mean that. But I'm prepared to allow the market to go that low because of what has occurred into the market recently. Okay. Now, I don't think that this article or any article talking about Lucid having a shelf registration about issuing around $8 billion worth of shares is the cause as to why the market went down 6%. Like, it's a plethora of reason as to why price moves. So let's not try to hinge what we see, what we hear as to why price is doing certain things. Because for you, you may think that that's the reason why the price in Lucid went down 6% was because of the article that CNBC wrote. But for somebody else, it may be because they needed to get some funds to pay for their child's tuition in college, right? So they had to sell some of their positions in Lucid. We will never know as to how and why people sell and buy. So that's why I don't focus in on this is the reason why the market is going down or this is the reason why the market is going up, because it's pointless. As long as we can see where price is going, that is what is more important. So I'm not going to change my price prediction. I'm just going to lower my bottom horizontal line a little bit lower down towards $14. I still suspect that the market in Lucid is still weak. And take a look at this on the monthly chart. You know, since today's the last day of August, this is the reason why I'm still looking at the weakness, right? The last 2 months, starting in July, going into August, we're definitely still seeing hints that the market is still weak in this particular stock. So I'm not going to change my prediction. Just wanted to come in and talk about that article here, right? So give me your perception, right? What are you thinking about Lucid? Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing that they have a shelf registration to issue out $8 billion in shares just in case? Or is that a bad thing? Which is which? And then give me your price target in Lucid going forward as we approach the month of September going into October. Make sure you maintain the profitability. And as always, trade different.